NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. We're at Talking Stick Resort Arena in downtown Phoenix. Tonight, it's the Phoenix Suns getting set to match up with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Phoenix begins the game with the basketball. To Booker. Look out, Devin Booker. Good start. He's made his first shot.
You know what really fascinates me about Devin Booker? Every time I see him, I almost feel like I'm watching a movie called Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Now, when I see him off the court, he's all smiles, laid back, chill demeanor, very low-key. But when I see him on the court, it's like he finds this different person, this assassin that wants to attack you and dominate you every single time he has the ball. Now, I got a chance to overhear a story of him and his coach at the time, Earl Watson, and he told his head coach, "I'm better than Jordan. Jordan never dropped 70 at Boston Garden." Now, we all know he's not better than Jordan, but that answer reflects his desire to be like Jordan and to be an NBA legend, and that's why he'll always succeed.
Booker, his first effort, off the mark. Westbrook across the timeline. They trail by 2. Short jumper misses.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Picked up by the Thunder. The Thunder have the possession. No good. Oh, it looked like he...
Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready.
It's easy for the offense to get agitated when you keep turning around and the defense is right there in your face. The jawing is only going to escalate.
Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton.
It's so difficult to block a guy like that with that kind of athleticism and length. Your timing almost has to be perfect, but pretty much there's no stopping him when he's around the rim.
To Adams. Paul George to Westbrook. The Thunder down to 4 on the shot clock. It's Westbrook, and he scores on the step back. You can try and body him up, but he'll still run right through you.
It's the way he attacks that makes him so dangerous. He chips off a piece of your body one possession at a time. First it's your arm, then it's your leg, and then inevitably it's your soul.
Has a look. Shot by Warren, no good. Westbrook into the front court. Down 2. To Paul George. Shot from in close, no good. To Booker. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
OKC ball. Adams to Westbrook. Surveys the floor. Short jumper off the mark. To Booker. And the rebound taken in by Adams. Westbrook into the front court. Down just a couple. To George. Shot clock, it's coming down to 4. Now down to 3. It's Westbrook. To Booker. Knocked loose. Thunder have it. Paul George fires. Paul George. First couple didn't go. That one is true.
Had a difficult first quarter. Couldn't really find his rhythm, but you got 3 more left to play.
Now the Suns going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over here in the first quarter. Changes coming from both sides right now.
Subbing in for the Phoenix Suns, number 3, Trevor Ariza.
Booker. Thunder with the basketball. Westbrook to Paul George. Has a chance. Paul George. 2-4 now.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
You gotta get up on that.
Inside, he scores.
What a pass. I have no clue how that ball even made it through the traffic.
Number 3, Trevor Ariza.
Straight on 3 at the buzzer. That ends the first quarter. Scoreboard says it's all even. A good start to this one. All tied up as we start the second. Thunder with the basketball.
ISO. Me and you.
Oh, Dennis Schroeder. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
When I think about the biggest international names in the game today, Dennis Schroeder's name probably isn't the first that comes to mind. But did you know that he's one of only 3 players to ever play in the league from Germany? Detlef Schrempf, Dirk Nowitzki, and Dennis Schroeder. He is a blur with the basketball, and he will be the first or second option offensively down the court each and every possession.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That's good D. Shot no good. Jay, without question, one of the biggest moments of the NBA offseason, Paul George, he chooses the Thunder, he stays in OKC.
And how about what Paul George said? He said, it's a perfect opportunity to submit myself and bring a championship where it has never been brought. And I think him and Russ work well off each other. Playoff P wants to be Playoff P all the time. Who better to bring that out of you than the Beast Brook?
Hey, watch this screen left.
Mikal Bridges. Shot from the lane won't go. Oklahoma City ball. Down low, Noel. Now ready with a couple of free throws.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Off the mark on the first free throw. So he goes 1 for 2 from the line after hitting on the second. Into the front court, it's Booker, down 5. Down to 5 on the 24. From long range. Tough shot. Well defended.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Westbrook to Adams. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
DeAndre Ayton. Curling inside. From the painted area, won't go down. To Westbrook. Going to launch beyond the arc. Big Russ, big shot, hits the three. The inner beast of Westbrook. Sheer determination.
I don't think anybody got the license plate on that hit and run. And there is no one, I repeat, no one in the game of basketball with the first step in the explosion of Russell Westbrook.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. And this will get out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. The shot blocked by Grant.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Adams to Westbrook. Oh, lots of contact there. Still gets it to go. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
The pass set it all up.
This game is so mental. Trust me. Some nights you get poor effort defensively, you can't make any shots, then you see the ball go in, boom, switch turned on.
Westbrook to Adams. Big man, Steven Adams. He's 2 for 2 now.
He's been doing this for years, the physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Booker. Screen coming. To Booker. Gets a look. Can't hit.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jump.
Can't connect. Over to the right side. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
DeAndre Ayton at the line. First one goes down.
For the Oklahoma City Thunder, number 3, Nerlens Noel.
And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. Westbrook with the basketball. It's an 11-point game. A pass stolen by Phoenix. Picked up by the Thunder.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Another shot stays out. Roberson's there to get the rebound. Russell Westbrook steps into it. Deep two there, won't go. Late heave to beat the buzzer. That'll do it for the first half. The Thunder in command of this one.
It's time for the Rose Report at halftime, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. The Thunder certainly didn't have a problem putting up points in the opening half, and these guys have every reason to feel good about how they scored effectively in that opening half. Great offensive display. These are the guys getting buckets for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns have yet to appear after one half of basketball. There isn't enough time to get into all of their problems, but I'll tell you this, they need to try to get better. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Phoenix Suns.
Game track. Field goals.
What you see on the screen is how this team put itself at a disadvantage. They definitely have some adjustments to make for the second half.
Player of the half.
Russell Westbrook was like a magician on the hardwood, consistently fooling the ball handler and creating a ton of extra possessions for his team.
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. Here we go with the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
48 wins a year ago for the Thunder. Jay, it took them a while to get to that point, but in so many ways, the Thunder had a great opportunity in the playoffs.
They did. It just seemed like something with their chemistry was a tad bit off with Carmelo Anthony. I think him not being there, him not being in Houston, them getting Andre Robertson back. He's a big-time lockdown defender on the perimeter. You surround him with youth and Hamidou Diallo, Terrence Ferguson, Alex Abrinas. This team has a chance to compete for a Western Conference Finals.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Old school equals high percentage.
Russell Westbrook with the rock. To George. OKC now with 4 to shoot. George. Great defense, forcing the miss. Knocked loose. Thunder have it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
It's Westbrook. Can't connect. Paul George. He's 3 for 7.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next-level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
To Paul George. Lays it up and in.
Why not? Russell Westbrook is the only guy stopping Russell Westbrook. And when he decides to put his head down and go to the rim, he's going to the rim. It's that easy.
Hey, big screen.
Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Tough shot, and nearly a chance at a three-point play. No foul. Jay, if you're Russell Westbrook, how do you take on the responsibility of getting them over the hump?
You have to own it, man. And that starts with owning the fact that, yes, you were the first player in the history of the game to average a triple-double back-to-back years, but that did not equate to your team being successful. Sometimes less is more, and he has to make sure that he's surrounded and allowing the players he's surrounded with to help him get to the next level.
Nothing going here on that drive. The drive by Westbrook, but a shot stays out. Booker with it. His guys down 11. Knocked loose. To Westbrook. Trying to cash in. Chance for Westbrook. No good. To Booker.
2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
To the rim. Lays it up and in.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Russ at the controls. Sizing up the defense. Driving right to the basket. Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called. Into the front court. It's Booker. His guys down by 9. Oh, nice find for the basket.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
Carmelo Anthony traded, but Sam Presti turns that into Dennis Schroeder, now on a team built to win.
And I love this acquisition by the Thunder. When you think about Schroeder, he is actually almost the opposite of what Russell Westbrook is. He averaged 19 points, 6.5 assists last year for the Hawks, but he is not a ball-dominant guard. He will have the ball in his hands, but he's more apt to make plays quickly with the ball than Russell, who likes to hold on to the ball towards the end of the shot clock.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Westbrook to George. Not that time. Knocked loose. Picked up by the Thunder. Paul George, 4 out of 10. At his size on the wing, that's a tough matchup on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, let me tell you about why he's so great defensively. He gets up into you and forces you one way. Does not give you an option to dance with the basketball. That wingspan, that frame, that size, that strength, and that lateral quickness. Oh, there's no getting by Mr. George.
Here comes the screen. Oh, it's Westbrook to block the shot.
Just incredible timing on that slot.
To Westbrook. George. Oh, you could sense that coming.
There is a premium market for players with that type of hand-eye coordination.
It's rejected.
Oh, and he can't keep it in off the block.
Man, that was impressive.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Fires the three. Can't go down. Smothering defense. Deep three. At the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end. Thunder with the lead. It'll be Suns basketball as we begin the fourth quarter. And I think the best way to describe where they stand right now is they're down, but they're not out.
It's a game we used to play in the league all the time. It's called a series of stops. That means get 3 stops in a row. Each game is a game within the game. You get 3 stops in a row, and then another 3 stops in a row, you're right back in this ballgame.
Mikal Bridges. Ariza to the basket, but he can't get it to go. The follow won't go either. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Oklahoma City's got it. Paul George takes stock of the floor. The shot by Noel off the mark.
We call some of these players practice players. You know, the guys that make 5 out of 10 shots in practice, but then all of a sudden they're not gamers because then they're making 1 of 10. That's exactly what you want him to do. You want him to take those kind of shots. Shot.
He buries it, creating space with the step back.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
George to Schroeder. George, and he stays cold from deep as he misses another one. It's no good. Inside, he scores.
I've been watching this kid since he was 15 years old. T.J. Warren has always been one of those under-the-radar type of guys. Averaged 20 points a game last year, and he made big leaps in scoring year after year after year in his time in the league.
Using the post to his advantage there, and the finish at the rim.
You've heard it before. Slow and steady wins the race. This approach might be working out after all.
Knocked loose, and that's going to be out of bounds off of George. So the Suns keep the possession. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Booker. Shot by Warren misses.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to... he sent that one to the 3rd row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
See, I don't like that shot right there. Pass the ball, get the defense moving, maybe set a hard screen, roll to the rim, see the ball go in a couple of times before you settle for a mid-range jumper that's contested.
Westbrook. Good look that time, but off the mark. And buries it. Jay, they'll take that any day.
No fading on that shot, strictly up and down.
Fundamentals 101. Russ at the controls. And the slam.
And easy, too. Get back on defense.
Westbrook with it. Leads just a point. Here comes the screen. The Thunder down to 4 in the shot clock. It's Westbrook. Knocks it down off the step back.
Look at that. Calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
Booker. And the rebound taken in by George. The Thunder have the possession. To Paul George. Probing the defense. George cleans it up. Offensive board. And the Suns secure the rebound. To Booker. The Suns with 4 to shoot. 4-3. Misfires. It's no good. Here comes the intentional foul, but they did have one to give, so no free throws yet. They'll shoot after the next foul.
Too close to call right now. We're in clock management mode. That was a good play.
And now they'll wrap him up with the intentional foul. That'll be free throws with 16 seconds left.
In the 80s, that might have been a personal, but regardless, it had the same impact. You just injected a little life into your squad, just when they needed it.
Can't connect on the first free throw. Missed the second as well. Thunder have it. Now an intentional foul, and they get it with 9 seconds remaining.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
And he connects on the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Now whistle and a timeout for Phoenix. It's just their first of the final 3 minutes. That leaves them with one more. Deep two there, won't go. Good victory here for the Thunder as they get a good win on the road. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Thunder emerged victorious after a tight finish. When you're able to get steals like they did here today, it greatly improves your chances of winning. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns must be devastated after such a close loss. The way they shot the ball was outstanding, but even still, it wasn't enough to get the result they wanted. More often than not, you're going to win games when you shoot the ball as well as they did here today.
Game track. Field goals.
This was a matchup in which solid shooting was prominently on display. I definitely enjoyed it. Like I'm loving enjoying all of these highlights right now. Great job of effective, efficient scoring from these squads.
player of the game.
Russell Westbrook put up the kind of points that made him an easy choice for this award. He couldn't be stopped. And when he realized he was in the zone, he just took it to another level.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course. But even the best players find their way into this part of the show. We handpicked them for you. Here are the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.
The opening jump is won by Phoenix. Add 2 points to the board.
That was a tough shot. The guy was in your pocket. He even contested the shot. Everything was going according to plan until then.
Here's Westbrook controlling the offense. To George. Probing the defense. Westbrook to Adams. Big man, Steven Adams. Good start. He's made his first shot.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Scores from the post.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Paul George to Adams. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Booker. Picked up by the Thunder.
Pick up that sense of urgency. Here's a chance to break the tie.
It's PG for 2. Almost, but no good.
I'm not sure that the contest on the shot contributed to the miss, but what it might have done is seep into the confidence of the shooter that the next time he might decide to try to drive to the rim instead of settling for a jumper.
To Booker. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Booker's shot, no good.
And so much of the shot is before the shot even occurs. As a defense, make him do things he's uncomfortable with. Stay up on him, make him catch the ball outside of his comfort zone.
Suns control the possession. Thunder have it. Short jumper off the mark. To Booker. Picked up by the Thunder. Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called. Booker with it. Down just a couple. Jumper's good.
Every NBA player has a superpower. His, obviously, is that depth perception, because that trajectory leads the ball to the net every time.
Oh, Russell Westbrook. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
New blood coming in for both sides. Deep right corner. Mikal Bridges. Shot clock winding down. Has a look. And it's rebounded by Adams. To Westbrook. George. Oh, Russell Westbrook. 3 for 3. That's a perfect start.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
To Mikal Bridges. Knocked loose. Thunder have it. To Westbrook. Curling inside. Gets it to go. Could have been more. A lot of contact, but no foul.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
It's Phoenix ball. Surveys the floor. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Short jumper won't fall. Deep 3 at the buzzer. That's it for the first quarter. The Thunder with the lead. Good start to this one. After one quarter of play, on to the second period. Jay, neither team was able to get control to start this one.
Yeah, both teams have came out. They played with great energy, and they've also done an excellent job of establishing their own tempo. They have to make sure they have to push through that and do more of that in the second quarter.
Westbrook. From the outside, no good. To Mikal Bridges. Working hard on the glass. Paul George to the rim. Slams it down. And boy, that was a lot to navigate. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
Here comes the screen. Knocked loose. Paul George, 4-2, gets it to go. Someone clearly missed their rotation. We've seen Paul George's game evolve in recent years. Mixed results, Jay. How does he get back to being that elite two-way guy?
I think he needs to find a way to be aggressive. Let me bring you in and tell you what he dealt with this past year. When you're a guy who's used to having the ball in your hands, you can make more mistakes because you have more possessions. Then all of a sudden, when you play with a ball-dominant guard like Russell Westbrook, you don't have the ball as much, which means you try to make more out of less opportunity that you have. You force the action way more. Look for Paul George to be way more assertive in this game and find his rhythm by having the ball in his hands.
Knocked loose. It's George for two. Paul George. 2 of 4 now. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
The drive, right to the basket. Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
Tough shot. And when Devin Booker scores, he scores in bunches. It was only a couple of years ago he had that 70-point game in the Boston Garden. This kid can fill it up when he gets hot.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs.
Subbing in for the Thunder, number 12, Steven Adams.
Westbrook to Paul George. Tough make through traffic.
Bread and butter. And there are few that can do it better off the screen.
It's Suns ball to Booker. Short jumper off the mark. To George. Down low, Noel. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
DeAndre Ayton. Knocked loose. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Picked up by the Thunder.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Knocked loose. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder, so it stays with Phoenix. Booker. Slam dunk, DeAndre Ayton. Jay, you know the deal. Keep the touches coming inside.
As long as that defense continues to give you high percentage shots, you better take that every time.
Nothing going here on that drive. Westbrook to the basket, but his shot won't fall.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
Booker. Five on the shot clock for Phoenix. To Booker. Has a chance. Look out, Devin Booker. He's now 4 for 6.
And ball movement is one of those great things. One of the things you learn early in this game is that if everybody gets involved, then everyone has a chance to win.
That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Deep three at the buzzer. It's good. And it gets them closer as we've reached the end of the first half. Time expires to end the first half. Thunder with the lead.
Thanks, Ed. The Thunder were the dominant team in that first half, without question. It was their playmaking, the way they gave each other scoring opportunities. That really impresses me. I love seeing unselfish basketball like that. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns did a lot of things wrong in that opening half. The way they struggle doesn't bode well for them at all. But if they got some fight in them, we'll know right away in the third quarter. These are the guys getting buckets for the Phoenix Suns.
Game track. Steals.
The Phoenix Suns are trailing so far, and that's mostly due to sloppy ball handling. The ball security needs to improve if they want to stay competitive in this matchup. Ball control was at its worst in the opening quarter.
Player of the half.
Russell Westbrook has already put together a pretty nice highlight reel for himself, and that's just after one half of basketball. He did a lot of scoring, and it probably won't stop anytime soon.
Who was cold?
Okabo didn't have any impact on the scoreboard in the opening half. You have to imagine his shots will start to fall, but this game has been pretty rough on him to this point. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
OKC ball. George, now Adams down low. Big man, Steven Adams. Very efficient and making an impact. He's 3 for 3.
And it's so deflating for the defense when you pick up right exactly where you left off at halftime. That's the kind of energy you need.
The shot blocked by Grant. Suns recover. High risk, high reward. It stays in their possession. Westbrook across the timeline. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. Shot from the lane won't go. Westbrook to Adams. Picked up by the Suns. Knocked loose. Wow, look at him dive for the loose ball. And that's going to be out of bounds off of George. So the Suns keep the possession. Booker. The Suns with 4 to shoot. 24-second violation. Paul George to Westbrook. Oh, the Suns come up with the steal. Knocked loose. Thunder have it.
Here's your chance to break this thing wide open.
Westbrook's shot won't go on the drive.
It's easy for the offense to get agitated when you keep turning it around and the defense is right there in your face. The jawing is only going to escalate.
It's Russ at the controls. Short jumper stays out.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Knocked loose. Trying to cash in. Missed that one. His coach cannot be a happy camper. To Paul George. Beyond the arc for three. It was contested, but Paul George still dials in for three. He's endured a major injury. He's had a change of address. But you look at Paul George, he is in the prime years of his career.
And there's no doubt about it. This entire offseason, if I were Paul George, I would think about how do I constantly channel my self-assigned alter ego. Playoff P needs to step up to the court every single day and bring that energy.
To Booker. Lets it fly from long range. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
You know what really fascinates me about Devin Booker? Every time I see him, I almost feel like I'm watching a movie called Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Now, when I see him off the court, he's all smiles, laid back, chill demeanor, very low-key. But when I see him on the court, it's like he finds this different person, this assassin that wants to attack you and dominate you every single time he has the ball. Now, I got a chance to overhear a story of him and his coach at the time, in Earl Watson, and he told his head coach, I'm better than Jordan. Jordan never dropped 70 at Boston Garden. Now, we all know he's not better than Jordan, but that answer reflects his desire to be like Jordan and to be an NBA legend, and that's why he'll always succeed.
Suns with the basketball. To Booker. For three. Had made his first couple, but he misses there.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Now a whistle. We'll get a timeout from Phoenix as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Time to shuffle things up. Fires the three, and he buries it. Jay upping the ante from beyond the arc.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
George. Here comes the screen. To Schroeder. To George. Schroeder. George. Now that's a contest. Knocked loose. Picked up by the Thunder. Paul George. Inside, he scores.
What a pass. I have no clue how that ball even made it through the traffic.
Phoenix with it.
I got this clown. Let's go.
Has a look. Keep on trying. Shot's no good there. 19-footer at the buzzer. That'll do it. Third quarter complete. And a nice cushion for the Thunder. It'll be Suns basketball as we begin the fourth quarter. They're looking up at a big margin. And that, Jay, shouldn't come as a surprise to many.
Well, for them to have a chance to win, I'm glad they brought their A game in their backpacks here to the arena, but that's not enough. They need their A+ game, and they need to execute down the stretch. You need to throw everything in the bag at them in order to win this game.
Schroeder to Paul George.
Screen coming left, screen coming left.
Screen coming. George to Schroeder. Here's a chance from long range, and the rebound comes down to Booker. Knock loose. Thunder have it.
Don't play scared now. Let's push the ball. Let's get this lead up.
To George. To Adams. Tyson Chandler. Tips it.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Phoenix has the ball. And the finish at the rim.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Across midcourt, it's Schroeder. Lead is 12. Has a chance. Not that time. He was all over him. Missed the shot. No free throws.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short arm a shot.
Down to Grant. Nice pass to set things up. Into the front court. It's Booker. Trailing by 14. Screen coming. To Booker. Down to Warren. Throws it down.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Now a whistle. We're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll talk things over here in this fourth quarter.
Listen up, fans. Tickets for the next home game are still available at the box office. Buy one or more tickets before the end of today's game, and you'll receive an exclusive discount.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Westbrook to Paul George. Paul George. With that, he's 5 for 9.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Booker. Knocked loose. Picked up by the Thunder. And the rebound taken by Anderson. To Booker.
2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Here comes the screen. Goes to the left side. 5 on the shot clock for Phoenix. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That's off the side of the rim, short.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
Here comes the screen. It's Westbrook. Gets a look. Can't hit. Oh, working hard there. Collects the rebound and gets it back up for the slam.
It just seems like nobody can stop him but him. Once he's found his offensive swag, that boy's deadly.
Booker. Trying to cash in, cashes in. Someone has to get into a zip code.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
The Thunder will use a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the fourth quarter. Shifting gears. Here comes some substitutions. Paul George.
Number 3, Nerlens Noel.
Down to Adams. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in the defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Runner here won't go. Thunder with the basketball. Sizing up the defense. Russell Westbrook steps into it. Knocks it down. Off the step back.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Knocked loose. Thunder have it. Good victory here for the Thunder as they win this one handily. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Thunder could not have been more dominant in this game. The scoring display they put on is going to be hard to forget. It's hard to imagine anyone doesn't come away impressed with how effectively they score their points. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns are no longer suffering through what was a big-time blowout.
And every team in this league loses games.
You just don't want to lose them like this. I can already see a players-only meeting in their future.
Game track. Steals. Player of the game.
Russell Westbrook is the choice for what you're seeing here, and that's unselfish play. Tight passes, great timing, and an impressive basketball IQ. He earned more respect than what I already have for him.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
This has been a presentation of ESPN on EA Sports. Until next time, I'm Jalen Rose, signing off.